To all who come, welcome.
Disney is a time machine that takes us back,
connects us together,
and shows us that not even wishing upon a star ever gets old.
Now come sit with your friends, Jonelle,
Sean,
and Megan as we deep dive into the heart of Disney.
Welcome back to season 2.
Welcome back.
Sean.
Yes.
Megan is gone for this episode.
She is. She's not gone for the season. She will be back.
Just today. So don't worry, friends. But welcome to season 2, and we have a lot to bring you. Sorry for the time that we have been gone temporarily. We needed to take some time to reevaluate as who we are as creators to provide you what we truly love most.
That sounded so businessy, Master.
Hey, for the most part, it was pretty good, okay? That was just the ending of it. Also, okay, a very side note on this, but this kind of leads into our movie, I guess.
I guess so, yeah.
A lot on self-appearance, in a way. I'm just thinking because of the beach.
We're talking about Teen Beach Movie.
Anyways, I just wanted to say, looking at myself in the camera right now, because it has also been a while since we have done any recording.
It is, yeah.
Like, there's some episodes we definitely need to record for you guys, but...
I mean, you'll see in the episodes when they come out. That's just all our behind-the-scenes whatnot.
We're human. Anyways, I look... My double chin has kind of gone away. Also, I'm down, like, officially 10 sizes. So...
Health journey. This is what we get for taking a break for the summer. But anyways, now that summer's over, we're heading back to recording, which is back to school season.
Yeah. Sorry, y'all's had a great Cruisin summer.
For a Bruisin.
But now you're going to have a Bruisin school year. Huh? Hopefully that works. Anyways, yes, Teen Beach Movie.
I gotta say, I feel like this is an underrated DCOM.
Yes. What's so interesting, and I mean, of course, we sang this song for our test recording because we always do a test recording.
Yes.
But a lot of the songs in these DCOMs come back on TikTok as popular hits.
And trends, years later.
And people are like, did you realize in that one scene, in that one picture, in the background, they released the next movie?
Remember that time when everyone was obsessed with Bet On It from High School Musical 2?
No.
You don't remember that? There was like a whole thing where people were like making fun of like when Troy like smacks the water and Bet On It. Like it was a huge thing. And then you have like Chillin' Like a Villain from Descendants 2. I think it's just the sequel movies. Chillin' Like a Villain was like a huge thing for a while too.
I see that one, but I also like think of how Descendants was on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
And that's what like makes me go more into the whole Wicked and like their songs, because that's what they dance to in front of lots of people who watch that show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like Dancing with the Stars is honestly, you don't really hear people talk about it, but it's like a long running show. Like it's one of like those high up there shows.
I remember watching it in daycare, like starting at the age of 4, and like I don't have good memories of watching it. Like I will admit that there's some times that were better than others. Like throughout the years, that was like me and my mom's thing was, you know, it was on the TV Monday night at like whatever, so that was our thing to watch. And then like it was cool, you got to vote in. It was a lot of those type of shows, so it was fun.
Yeah, I remember I think I really started getting into watching it when Rashawn Fagan, when he was on Dancing with the Stars. Because remember Rashawn from Camp Rock, and he was also Rocky's brother on Shake It Up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was on Dancing with the Stars at one point, and so was Kyle Massey. I think Ross Lynch from Teen Beach Move was actually on it as well.
Probably.
I think so, because I think he did a dance it might have been him or like a brother. So I think they did a dance to Pirates of the Caribbean during Disney night.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Disney night was what got me into Dancing with the Stars, which is funny considering Disney owns Dancing with the Stars.
I was like, Disney now owns Dancing with the Stars.
They've always owned it because they own ABC.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
Remember, this is not a kid-friendly podcast. Got you. Anyways, I did not realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Which is also funny when you think about like other shows that are like on ABC.
Because I'm now thinking about all the other shows on ABC.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Is owned by Disney.
Didn't like a lot of soap operas go on there? Like, these are the days of our lives.
Possibly.
Hold on. Let me look up ABC shows.
I know that like Once Upon a Time obviously was on ABC, which is clearly owned by Disney.
That explains why they got away with so much shit.
There's a reason why there's so much incest. No.
Oh my gosh, what's so dumb is oh my gosh.
But anyways.
A lot of these are, whoa, Shark Tank.
Yep, technically. But anyways, back to like Teen Beach Movie. What do you like? What's like your earliest memories of Teen Beach Movie?
I remember when Teen Beach Movie came out, and like this was the time I had moved to my grandma's, and I was so excited to like. I just loved watching Disney original movies and new ones that came out because I had something new and interesting to look forward to.
Yeah.
Because I had no friends, you guys. In case no one has noticed, I have no friends except this friend and you, my friend.
You're our friends.
But my childhood had no friends. But yeah, so like I would really look forward to new releases and new movies just because it was something I had never seen before.
So I was excited for Teen Beach Movie, and it released in middle school and so we all remember middle school as like a very transformative time growing up. And
the tutus and neons.
Growing up, a lot of my sense of style coming into like high school and a little bit in my adultish years was actually influenced by Teen Beach Movie. More specifically, Rosalind like Brady, his style actually influenced me a lot into like how I wanted to dress and present myself.
Okay, well this movie definitely did not do that for me.
It was like honestly very like important in my development as a person.
I will say though, Disney has a great way of pointing out romance in a non-realistic way.
They're really good at creating like realistic romances, like in an unconventional way.
Yeah. Because like that was the thing that I like. Obviously I was also a teen during this time, or like, you know, transitioning into that phase, and like watching this I was just like, they're like, okay, romance movies were secretive. I did not let my family know that I had watched the Titanic a few times. Okay.
What about Ice Princess?
Okay, I closed my eyes. I watched Sausage Party with my stepdad.
Okay, we're not talking about that movie.
I didn't realize what movie it was, and let me tell you, it was the most awkward experience.
I fell asleep during that movie, thank God.
Because this is what I do. Whenever someone kisses or anything like touching romantically in a movie and I'm near my family, I look away like it's not a thing.
Yep.
You do not acknowledge physical touch. Let me tell you, my family must know I am pure, which they now know I'm not. But you know, I must act like I'm a saint.
But like, okay, since you brought up romance, like, how do you feel about like when you see Brady as a male love interest in this movie compared to like other representations of like male love interests in DCOMs especially? Because I feel like Brady ranks up there as a really, really good male love interest. Because here's the thing.
I have this thing now. Okay. And this is just because I'm older, but like, you know how like there's a meme that goes around with the women, and I get it now, where it's just like, used to liking Taylor Lautner? No, I like Charlie. He owns a house. He's an old man. He knows what he wants.
Are you saying that out of this movie you switched from liking Brady to liking Mac's grandpa? Like, is that what I'm hearing?
No, I did not like any of the love interest actually in this movie. So when I watch romance or like read romance, it's generally just to see the situationship leading into the romance.
See,
because it's really weird. I care more about how they built their relationship and how they show love to one another. But let me tell you, the love in the beginning of this really sucked because, man, does he not listen.
He does listen. Here's the thing. I talked with Megan about this. We had a whole conversation about this.
But in the beginning, he kept cutting her off. That pissed me. I would...
Hold on. You're cutting me off now. No, so here's the thing. When it comes to, like, looking at this as, like, a male love interest, I'm not thinking about it as, like, do I like him or do you like him? I'm saying quite literally, like, as the role of a male love interest, how is he doing now, looking at it through our adult eyes? And I still say he's a solid love interest and supportive partner. In the beginning, yes, I understand the cutting off part, but that's a universal thing, especially when you're upset. It's hard to get to that point of coming down. And even though he was trying to, like, say, no, don't go, you need to say, what about us? Focusing on, like, him in the relationship versus overall things. He still got to a point of, like, understanding. But he wasn't happy about it, but he understood. And the thing is, he knew her well enough to know what she values in her life and could tell that she's not acting on her own accord and was trying to get her to see that. And you see that by the end of the movie, she does see that. She's like, I'm not doing what I want. I keep saying this to this one person, like they need to follow their heart, but I'm not even doing that.
And here's where we get hit with the reality lens of our lives are not fairy tales.
No.
We do not have a romantic love interest out most times of our lives. You can. Yeah. It's not impossible. But most times you don't have that romantic interest to say you're not following your passion.
But sometimes that comes from a friend too. Like I've been that for my friends.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we need to have a talk after the episode.
Great. Anyway, but
like, I don't know. I just have this different perception now of, like, as an adult looking back on Disney movies and relationships, I really don't care for them because they are quite literally child relationships, forming relationships as children. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, watching this as a teen, like, watching those type of relationships, because, like, those are definitely their situations at hand. You know, I might have to move with my aunt because my mom died. Mm-hmm. But you're happy surfing and actually being at home.
Yeah.
But there's also the reality lens of sometimes you don't have that choice.
Well, that is true. And when I'm talking about him as a male love interest, I'm thinking about, like, a prior episode in our first season. It was a Zach and Cody episode where we talked about male representation in terms of, like, relationships. Brady's a really good example for, like, a developing guy learning how to interact in relationships. Like, yes, it's a script. Yes, it's a unique situation that's built a certain way, but seeing the behavior of him being supportive him not being happy but still accepting and supporting Mac, those are good behaviors to exhibit to a developing teenage guy.
But this is essentially why we have entertainment.
Well, yeah.
And
it's entertainment.
Yeah.
But there's never saying you can't learn from it. Like, we always...
Like, that's what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
like, Disney, essentially, yes, they are an entertainment-based company, but at this time and era, they had a huge demographic of children who actually grew up watching their shows, aka us nostalgic purchasers and consumers. You have all of our money because you hold our nostalgia, and F you on Snow White. But really, like, that's what they hold for us. Back then, they grabbed our attention because they're like, your parents, they just went through 2008, the housing crisis. They don't have time to take care of you. They're fucked on their finances, okay? So let me teach you how to commingle with one another, okay? Let me teach you how to be a friend. And then, you know, as they reach those teen years, let me show you how to approach a relationship. Let me show you how to act in a relationship. What are good characteristics, you know, and what are bad characteristics, and what do those look like?
Well,
Disney does a good job at displaying those.
Well, yeah, and it comes to that point, though, again, of, like, when you're talking about relationships, when you have a move, like, when these characters are transported to a very dated movie of 1962, where male and female relationships are very, very different in their dynamics, and being able to show that contrast of, like, hey,
See,
Lela, you don't have, like, you can ask a guy out, you can go surfing, and, like, yes, there's remnants because they're, like, in the movie and stuff. Like, there's that moment at the end where they're like, yeah, we're gonna go to the lighthouse, and Lela just stands there like, Tanner, hello, come grab me.
I don't really like, this sounds really weird, but maybe this is just because it's me and I watch a lot of old movies and we know this, but I feel like the 60s is, like, a really good movement to show at what a balanced society, like, yes, there are the strong male dominant roles and the strong dominant female roles of the housewife and the bread maker, but, you know, as we went through history, there's World War II and a lot of these other things, you know, coming past that, and we're now entering a new era of what our generation's going to look like. And there's men and women working, and then they started to go back together as a cohesive family, like, and, you know, I'm going to sound like a grandma here or a grandpa, but, like, it's pure traditionalism that is, like, at that time, it wasn't necessarily gender forming. Yes, there was gender roles, but there was a lot of things that had happened to where those gender roles had to go out the door because there was a bigger necessity, and that was our country.
Well, yeah. But, like, when I bring it up, I think of movies like, I'm going to bring up the evil one, Snow White, where they essentially indirectly had a similar goal. They wanted to, like, you know, you go girl, like, they tried to make it a very feminist movie, but they went about in two very different fashions, where in Teen Beach Movie, it felt very organic. You're lifting Leia up, it's 1962, pretty different era, especially if you're a teen.
They did do that transition very well.
They did a very good job of addressing those issues, but it wasn't the focus point of the movie. It supported it because that's what helped Mac figure out where she needed to go as a character. Whereas in Snow White,
they brought in a progressive...
shoved it down your throat.
Well, more like they hired a progressive woman who is very loud about shoving it down people's throat.
That is true.
And that's the second part of... And this is what I, love. I'm really sorry. Master of Business coming out.
I can tell.
But this is what I find, like, the most interesting about learning executive leadership is we're not hiring based off of your talent anymore by that. we're hiring you based off of your personality. And I see on TikTok all the time, and like different people who are always like, I can't get a job. Yeah, because you have a shit attitude.
Well, I remember when you talk about that, I remember back when it was my senior year of high school, and we had a new band director, and he was talking about, like, not like hiring for a job, but like who gets first chair, who doesn't. And he goes, if I had the choice of someone who's really talented but was a jackass, not in those words because it's high school, versus someone who's like absolutely like the nicest person, really good team player, supporting person, but they're maybe not the greatest player, I would put them above the other person because talent can be developed.
And this is what we're learning in executive leadership, is that really it's not about the high perform. It's not about Michael Jordan. It's not about, you know, those high performers, because they specialized in one good thing, and that's what they know how to do. And yes, some of them may have a great personality, but it's the ones who struggled. It's the ones who took the time out of their life to really make a whole-rounded perception, and because they're humble. Yep. They relate to others, and people want to be near them because they're so relatable.
Yep.
And those are the people who make good leaders, and those are the people that we're hiring. We're not hiring the person who's just like, well, I deserve everything for me. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I think we're in... Sorry, I really hate doing this, but like I just feel so passionate about it, and I just can't stop pushing it. And friends, I want you to push forward your dreams too. Like, let's build, because the boomers are coming out, okay? So that means we are coming in, and our generations are going to be the new ones to take care of future generations. And what I truly hope we all do is realize that we need to be the change that we want to be, and that's actually educating yourself and paying attention to what's going on.
Well, what's that one quote that we all grew up in middle school hearing? Like, be the change you want to see in the world. I think that's that quote.
That is literally what we need to be now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to touch too much on politics with it because, you know,
we tend to stay pretty politically neutral.
Yeah. So, because I want you as friends, okay? We're here as a safe zone. And now I'm done with my business rant.
Back to the movie. Divert a little bit from the relationship talk, because I feel like we're hitting a lot of different areas on that. Like, where do you go, like, music-wise? How do you like the music?
Well, obviously, I can't stop singing. So...
Like me. The puns are great. This movie influenced a lot of my interest in music, like my music interests. Like, I love like that 50s style of music where it's like,
you can't tell, I'm kind of into the 60s era,
like where it's like jukebox, greaser type stuff. I love it.
Are we born in the wrong era?
Little bit. We're old souls.
I feel like I'm an older soul than you.
That's because of your love of old Disney movies.
But they're so good.
We've admitted this. Like, all the ones we've talked about are all good.
Like, I can't help it. They're, like, I didn't have many things to watch growing up.
I know.
And
we talked about it. We know. It's just my favorite running joke.
I'm an old woman. I'm quite literally the middle person of age in this podcast, and you are the baby. But
it's true. I'm the baby,
and Casper is not the baby.
Casper Jr. is not the baby. Well, Casper Jr. is a baby. Megan is.
Oh, okay. Good point.
Casper Jr.'s aunt is in the peanut gallery. We don't know what kind of Casper she should be. Let us know in the comments.
I was trying to think of Dasper or Dapper.
Let us know in the comments what Casper Jr.'s aunt is.
Yeah, like what name would you give to Casper Jr.'s aunt? Because I was thinking Dapper or Dasper. I don't know what Dasper is, and I hope it's not a real word, but it sounds kind of cool.
I don't know. I'm like breaking down, just like my train of thoughts coming to ends.
Sorry.
Like we lost our momentum a little.
Look, I tend to do that to people because I can also confuse people very easily.
You're very good at it.
Because at the same time, this is why the romance talk went so far down, is because here's where it all circles back, and I'm ending the circle on this, you guys. Relationships are not just relationships. They are feelings to me, and they are building actual connections with people. So if we're going to do that, how do you build connections with people? And that's building a community, and then that kind of circles into the whole circle of life and
of business.
I did not do it
because business is relationships.
Yeah. Well, like just in general of life. Like this sounds so weird, but like business knowledge is actually a lot of psychology.
Yes, it is. There's a reason why there's such thing as like consumer psychology, basically.
Y'all, we're dumb at purchasing stuff, let me tell you. Do we need Disney ears? No. Do we want Disney? Yes.
They're addictive. But anyways, like, I want to talk more about the relationships, but I'm scared to talk about the relationships now because of you.
Yeah, okay. I'll just put the mic down so you can talk.
No, so, like, let's talk about just the group dynamics. Like, when you were in high school, I feel like this would be a better conversation for, like, High School Musical, but it exists here. The bikers versus the surfers. Like...
The natives versus the whites. That was my high school. Let's be real.
I mean, I was a classic one, band geeks versus athletes, which is always a fun conversation. But, like, I don't know, like, do you think they approached the healing of the two groups well versus, like...
I think it was really cute, not gonna lie. Oh, okay, so I was gonna say this about the villain, and this is so weird.
Oh my god, the villain.
How much of Sonic's villain does he remind you of?
Very, very much.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Is how much he just reminds me of the villain in Sonic.
Robotnik, I know. It's also Eggman. Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember the name.
It's Eggman.
Casper Jr.'s aunt over here
is like flipping her crap.
Because
she's like going full sign language on us, trying to communicate things to me, and I'm like, huh?
So if you see us a little distracted, it's okay. A part of this is just because, like, I'm like seeing hand gestures over here, and I'm like, brain,
like, don't hit me.
No, my brain is like, I'm trying to talk.
If you can't see us because you're just listening to us, like, there's a lot of things you're missing out on.
Yeah. And I mean, please join in on watching us for a session because it's quite laughable. Also, let us know how we can. I'm trying a thing, and this is like part of like what they teach you in business, but like, you know, engage.
If you want to stay engaged, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And just follow us wherever you listen to us,
your
so you
podcast.
Can stay updated. Anyways, back to the episode.
That was a great little.
That was a great segue.
So natural.
Thank you. Anyways,
I love.
We're so awkward.
But honestly, sometimes these are the things that make you laugh the most during like, because it's a nice intermission break from me going on the endless rant.
The villain really quick.
Okay.
Do you want to know more about whatever movie they got transported into where these random villains just are there? Like, when you look at like the movie as it is, like the actual movie that we watch, it is the most random thing to just throw in there.
Yeah.
I want to know more about how they actually fit into the actual movie.
Me too.
Because that's just, like, based off of what we know in the movie, if all this stuff happened, and then just randomly they're like, that businessman is planning this weather machine, let's stop him. And it's like, you didn't talk about this. What?
Because they're so focused on the love connection that happened.
And, like, the turf war.
star-crossed lovers, and then yeah.
Like, is there a scene where they interact with Big Mama and she's, like, refusing and stuff? Like, I want to know more about his interaction in the actual movie. But I also think it's really funny when they tell, like, the scientist guy who plays Bertram and Jesse. I think it's really funny when they're like, oh, this is just a movie. And you're like, I'm just a speck on the silver screen? And they're like, yeah, you don't exist. And he, like the number of times he's just like staring at the camera while things are happening.
I think Wizards of Waverly Place has done this a few times. And, like, it's a type of comedy to where you're acknowledging the character as it's placed to the reader or the viewer of who they really are. And they can't comprehend it because it's based off of this theory, and I guess I'm going to be the theorist today, but it's based off of this theory that a 2D person cannot think in a 3D world, but a 3D person can think of a 2D person in their world. Like, if I was to hop into Super Mario Brothers, you know, like DS style, we would picture what our pixel self would look like. But if we were to hop out of that, you know, like being born in that world,
we wouldn't know what we would look like.
Exactly.
But, like, I find it really interesting when the meta concepts or, like, self-awareness is brought into it, because, like, a lot of people associate it with Deadpool as breaking the fourth wall, because, you know, you can only see 3 walls in a show, so when you break the 4th wall, it's like the self-awareness. But, like, I find it funny in the context of this movie with how seamless it is to the actual plot. Like, when Deadpool does it, it's like quite literally to you as a person. In this movie, because they're deemed real people in a movie, they're acknowledging the real world, not us. And so it actually works with the plot, and, like, when they explode and they talk, like, oh, apparently we're just characters in some movie. And, like, he pulls off the mustache, and he goes, tell me more. Like, it's so great how, like, it works into the plot of the movie, not, like, bringing us into it.
Well, also, I think this helps us, like, if you were a kid, like, yeah, there's a lot of times of, like, where they go into the real world, but, you know, like, you're being put into a very controlled setting, which is the storyline of Teen Beach Movie.
Or Wet Side Story.
Yeah. I was like, not really Teen Beach Movie, but, you know, of that movie. And so that is a very controlled, because at the beginning, they set the storyline.
Yes.
Just like they did in Beauty and the Beast when Bella's reading her book.
No.
Yes. But you won't discover that it's him till chapter 3.
I've never thought of that as Beauty and the Beast, because it didn't seem to fit personally. But anyways,
she's talking about the Beast. But, you know, they're talking about the love interest and then how there's this big storm that's going to come by. So they know what they need to do, and that gives them the mission, and you understand the controlled setting.
Yes. But, like, seeing them use that controlled setting and knowing everything they know about it coming from the future, from outside the movie, is so brilliant. Especially when approaching, like, the villain.
It's kind of like... Yeah, I don't know if I want to go... No, I don't want to go there. I was going to say, it's kind of like going into Goofy's home, and I'm like, nah.
I was going to say it's like D&D.
Yeah.
But, like, something else I noticed while watching the movie that I personally love, and I didn't notice it until after they got back to the human world, is the camera work and how they, in, like, the finishing product of the movie, the way, like, the post-production work. I love how, if you actually notice when they're in, like, what they're deeming as their, like, human world, the real world, the camera work looks purposefully not polished like you would normally see in a movie. because when they're in the movie, it is. And so I love how they actually bring that realism to like when they're not in the movie through the camera work of like, no, she's like real world. This isn't, we're not going full post-production where everything's like bright and clear. Like this is not perfect lighting. She comes up, there's shadows on her face. Like it's gray, like it's slightly grainy. It's real world recordings. It's, if I were to take my phone, what it would look like almost. And when they're in the movie, it's like perfectly polished, like any other movie. It's perfect. It looks absolutely amazing. Colors perfect. Saturation perfect.
I want to point out how in the groups, their movie was the two of them singing "I Can't Stop Singing."
Yes.
That was so funny. They're like, "What the? What?" Honestly, I would probably be entertained with that channel all day. I'd be like, "Oh, I can't stop singing. Make it stop. Literally, make it stop."
It reminds me of like in Enchanted, how like the love interest Robert is like, how do they all know this song? Why is everyone singing? Like just that disimaginment, and how like they brought that as well because it's a movie. It makes sense in a movie. Again, the meta-ness of watching a movie within a movie is so good. They did it so well.
Oh man. I'm tired here. But this is why, like, I recommend if you ever go to Disney World or Disneyland or any of those places where those characters are there, act with them like you are in their realm. Because you'll have the best day ever. I went and met Shrek and Fiona.
Ariel for a dingle hopper, I dare you. But no, like, I love this movie. Like, this soundtrack, it gets me every time. Like, I sit there and I knew this a year ago that we would do these movies on the podcast this year over the summer. I was dead set on it because I was listening to the soundtrack and I'm like, this is a bop. Second one is a bop.
I'm old, apparently.
Do you not like the movie?
No, I'm just tired.
Okay. Weird question because you sent me a little bit of mixed signals as we were talking. Where would you rank this movie? Between S tier and F.
It's a B.
Really?
Yeah.
To me, this is like an S tier movie.
Because not gonna lie, I looked forward to the movie in the summer. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's definitely not one of my favorite movies. I really am not like a big beach fan.
Okay.
I just don't like the theme of beach movies. Give me vampires, give me dragons, give me fantasy.
He was about to say, well, vampires, zombies 4.
Did you watch that, by the way?
Not yet.
He needs to you need to watch it, but he needs to watch it the most.
By the time this is releases, I will have watched it. I promise.
Please watch Zombies 4, not sponsored by Disney.
But, like, see, to me, this is an S tier, and I won't lie, it's really honestly the first beach movie I've ever watched. I've never watched really beach movies. Like, I've never seen Jaws. I'm not a, like, what's that movie called? Like, what are those movies called? They have, like, the lifeguards. I can't remember. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But
I was just gonna say, like, a lot of the ones that I've watched growing up, and it just kind of says it, but it was essentially like College Party.
I think the only beach movies I've actually seen are Lilo and Stitch and Teen Beach Movie, and I love Teen Beach Movie purely because I love like how cohesive the vibe was. Mm-hmm. Like, the surfer dudes were not traditional surfer dudes. Like, it just felt right. Like, I don't know. I enjoy it so much. The music is top tier. Like, I've been wanting to learn the dance to Cruisin for a Bruisin, which is an amazing song number to have in a movie.
I was going to just say, do you think Disney chose this era because of, like, the clothing that they have to wear is a bit more modest?
No. I don't think the clothing had anything to do with it.
Well, I was just thinking of, like, if we were to do, like, a beach movie in the 90s or 2000s, during that time, you have a lot of basically naked women.
I mean, choosing this era as a beach movie, I think it's because traditionally, if you think 50s and 60s, you think of the beach movies. You know, the Surfer Boy, that type of music where it's like that rock and roll type of music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Elvis is like going all supreme. Like "Burnin' Love" is like a common song you'll hear around like beach movies. There's literally there was like that little group, the Beach Boys, and stuff. And so, I feel like
Got replaced with the Backstreet Boys. Take it back, all right.
Oh my god.
Everybody.
Anyways.
Yeah.
But I think that like this era just makes the most sense for a beach movie. Like I can't imagine a beach movie being set in today's time. I can't imagine a beach movie being set in like the 90s or the 80s.
Oh, they do make beach movies set in today's time.
I know they do.
And they're generally horror, and it's great.
I know they do.
Their heads
but
are getting
I'm
ripped
thinking,
off.
if you're thinking like a traditional beach movie
Piranha.
where it's like the surfer guys, I know like the Meg, which Megan deems as her movie. Like traditional surfer movie was like the surfer guy where it's actually about like surfing and stuff. I think this era makes the most sense. And I think combined with like how they took like they made a parody of like West Side Story with Wet Side Story and have it be like bikers versus surfers, where it's that turf war.
Because at that time,
it overall just makes the most sense. And
Well-
I don't know if that's because it just works in this movie, but from what I know about like the theme and the genre, it just makes sense.
well, also history, life was definitely like a Route 66 type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you had a lot of motorcyclists at that time, like driving up and down the coast, along the waves.
Biker gangs,
Yeah.
surfer gangs, a lot more like
I wouldn't say
Groups.
biker gangs, but
that's what they are. They're a biker gang. They're literally a biker gang called the Rodents.
yeah, it just biker gang is one of those words like gay that has not
Yeah,
gone well in today.
yeah, it's true.
It has not progressed as
It
a better
has-
word.
It hasn't aged well.
Yeah.
And
Okay, I'm so confused. Sorry.
Yeah.
I keep seeing the purple around the screen.
that just shows that we're talking. Oh. Because normally there'd be like more than one person.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I'm sitting here talking, and I'm like, why does this purple thing keep showing up? It's driving me nuts.
We've been using a new recording software, and so we're just getting used to it. It has a lot of like different features than what we're used to. But anyways, like I don't know, I just think this movie was like a nice breather from like a lot of traditional DCOMs that have been created around this time period. Like it was shortly after this that Descendants got made, which kind of overtook the DCOM world and well as zombies.
So this is going to sound funny. I did not watch Descendants until we watched it together for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
And how are we now hearing about this and not during the Descendants episodes last year?
Like the first time you and me watched Descendants together, that was my first time.
Oh, and Aaron?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because like literally that was right after Teen Beach Movie, and I was just like, I can't right now. This is stupid.
Yeah. Well, and like when you look at like the era of Disney, like DCOMs, like the 90s was a lot more like sport movies. Like you have like a motocross one, basketball one,
Hockey.
In like early 2000 and like
We
overall
had Smart House.
2000s, it led to a lot more of just high school. You know,
Well, high school and technology and
well, because I'm thinking about things like there's High School Musical, obviously. Then you have things like Ice Princess.
that's more of the 2010 though.
For which?
Like high schools.
Hear me out for a second. Like, because I'm thinking like Ice Princess, High School Musical, Camp Rock. Trying to think of other ones. I think there was one like Cowbells, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're a lot more, like, stationed in, like, a high school-esque setting. I know Camp Rock's, like, at a camp, but, like, it's a high school at a camp, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
You have these two, like, Teen Beach and Teen Beach 2, but then you have Descendants, which starts this era of, like, we're going to have magical creatures and focus on that type of stuff.
Hold up, I gotta check the dates on this.
And Teen Beach movie came out in, I think, 2013. Casper's aunt saying yes. She looked it up, she says.
I was just looking at the time of when Twilight came out, which was 2008. So that explains why we saw a lot of more high school movies, was because look at how long Twilight is still an everlasting
cult classic.
Yes.
Yeah, like, there's a lot, and a lot of people like the high school drama, too. Like, let's be honest, a lot of people in our generation did.
Okay, this sounds dumb, but, like, I still read school drama, and it's just because school is a good setting.
Well, and it's
for drama.
And it's one we can all relate to, because everyone goes through high school. I mean, like, High School Musical came out in, like, the mid-2000s. Like, I think the second one came out in, like, 2005, 2006 and stuff. And, like, at that point, you're, like, fantasizing about high school. And you're like, oh, my God, this is what high school's going to be like? You get to high school.
High school terrified me, like, forever growing up. Because they're just, like, in high school, like, okay, quite literally in, Netflix Big Mouth show, Missy, like, eventually decides to stay at home with her parents because she's so scared of high school. I was Missy because I'm like, I have no friends. I have nowhere to go, no one to talk to. Like, I am scared to death of what is going to happen with my social life. Because it's like, I know I'm a smart student.
Yeah.
But I was picked on so much and outcasted so much that everyone was talking about these transitions. And
see, like, I was very neutral towards high school. I was more worried about, like, how the teachers were going to be rude to me. But, like, I mean, I'm kind of, like, losing my train of thought because we're kind of, like, diverging a little bit from what we were saying. But, like, seeing, like, just the era of DCOMs shift as they have, like, even if you were to go on Disney Plus right now, like, you have stuff centered around magic. I think there was, like, one recently about this, like, girl in a school with magic.
Now we just get school magic.
Yeah, right?
Witches in school because of the whole Harry Potter.
I'm gonna say, I think the Harry Potter, like,
cult
magic craze kind of has caught up, and like Descendants, they're in high school, but it's all magical. In Zombies, it's supernatural creatures in high school. Like,
and now we're about to hit just pure horror, which is going to be hilarious. Be prepared for more Chucky.
But, like, so I think Teen Beach Movie was, like, a nice break, because, like, yes, it's high school, especially in the second one.
But you're not actually at school. You're
not thinking about high school in this.
Yeah, like, you know they're children, and you know they're in the summer.
It's summertime, they're surfing, having fun, summer love. You know?
I love summer love. What a fun time.
Happens so fast. Sorry, that was a Grease reference, which I think also influenced this movie.
Tell me more.
Did he get very far? Oh, gosh. Oh. If you had to be a biker or a surfer, which one would you want to be?
Biker.
Here's the thing. I feel at a crossroads, because I have always wanted to surf.
I suck at surfing.
I've always wanted to try surfing, and I feel like in personality, I fit more with the surfers. I love the aesthetic of the bikers so much more. Like, I love their look. I love, like, their music.
Here's the thing, and this is where I was kind of hinting to prior in the episode, but, like, why I was kind of wondering essentially, like, why did they choose this era specifically? But, like, I have such a hard time being on the beach. I could not handle being in a swimsuit all day, or, like right now, me wearing this short and t-shirt is, like, too much clothing. Like, I want my legs fully covered type of thing, because it's, like, revealing too much. And a biker, like, I could get cold driving nights. It's a breeze. And also sand. I hate sand. The texture of sand touching in between my toes sucks.
Yeah.
You know how many weird crevices you'd have to clean on a daily basis living at the beach? People in Florida, how do you live if you live on the beach?
In California.
Yeah, okay. Those who have a beach where the beach is fun and it is sunny, how do you live? Because I legitimately hate the sand. I hate it getting into my crevices. I
hate it, like, when you're, like, walking on, like, not wet sand and it's hot and dry and it just hurts. And I don't know if this is because we live in Washington and all of our beaches are rocky. So it's, like, not, like, fine sand. It's very pebbly sand.
Yeah, we have, like... Well, there's times where there's other areas where it is finer when you go to the Oregon coast.
That's the coast, though. That's the thing. It's it's just that at that point you're hitting, like, the same thing as California coastline.
But it's cold. It's cold coast, so people are not wearing their swimsuits on the Oregon coast. You're wearing your rain jacket.
Nor on the peninsula, nor on, like, the Washington coast, like, not in the, like, on the far west side.
You were wearing
of the
tennis
peninsula.
shoes, and you were collecting your sand dollars, and then you switch your shoes and everything at the car, and you have, like, a nice dry rag to get rid of all the sand, because that sand also sucks.
Because, yeah, it's very pebbly.
It's cold.
It's cold.
I love it, though. I would take that beach any day, because you know why?
Mm-hmm.
I could stand in that, and I could look into the abyss of the ocean and get lost.
See, growing up with the Puget Sound, it's much more rocky than over, like, it's all rocks. It's not even sand. It's rocks. It's not until right when you get to the water where you start to hit the sand. And even then, there's still a crap ton of rocks.
Hayden Lake, a lot of the beaches on Hayden Lake, those are straight up just rocks.
The entire Puget Sound is that way, and that's why I can't, like, I dream to have the fine sand. I want to step in the fine sand.
Quite literally, we live in Twilight.
We live in Washington.
We live where Forks, well, we're not near Forks, but we live in the state of where Forks is. We live 5 hours away.
We live in the rain.
Yeah, we live near the giant Space Needle thing.
But yeah. Anyways, I think we've kind of hit our stride on this episode.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll let you go. Check out next week when we hit at Team Beach 2.
So we'll cruise into that episode at another time.
Oh, that's great. Anyways, see you next week, friends.
Bye.